Shovel Knight is a Kickstarter-funded game by a group called Yacht Club. Now I know by the time this review goes up, everybody and their mother would have reviewed it. But I haven't yet, so pay the fuck attention! Our story begins with two knights having adventures together throughout the land. Battling, looting, murdering the tits out of bad guys. Because why the fuck not? What else are you gonna do? Read? You think you're fucking better than me? Then shit goes south at the Tower of Fate, and we lose our beloved partner in adventuring. Our hero loses his sense of adventuring for about a year until the Tower of Fate opens. From it, some powerful enchantress emerges and amasses a group called the Order of No Quarter. That rhymes. That starts wreaking havoc on the land. Well, fuck that noise! Our hero sets out to stop them and hopefully find his long-lost partner. Now, two things. A, that's the best fucking story setup I've heard in forever and a half. It sounds like when you were a kid and you and your friends were playing knights with sticks in Old Man Wimbledon's yard. It's just fun. Not like most games now that have to be realistic and gritty. Two, the person you are looking for is your partner. Not your girlfriend or some damsel in distress, she's your partner. A fully capable and strong warrior. It's obvious there is affection between her and our hero, and you see it many times throughout the game. You generally feel for our hero, and you hope that there's a positive resolution to this story. But I just love the fact that Yacht Club didn't go with the typical Princess Peach type deal. Right, now that we got through the opening story, we take control of a rogue Darknut with a giant spoon. We get to quickly learn the relatively simple way this game works through level design and not fucking tutorials! We can shovel, run, dig, jump, down thrust, loot, and discover hidden secrets. Oh, and also dance. The mechanics of the game work really well. This opening level also gives you an idea of hazards to expect, like spikes, pits, and enemies. Also, I should mention, Yacht Club decided to implement the knockback hit, which results in God damn it! But usually if you end up dying, it isn't necessarily the game's fault. It feels like you have most of the control of the game. And that's always gravy. Hitting enemies typically has this feeling of impact, weight, and sometimes knockback like you're actually hitting an enemy. It's good and solid, and I love it. You can't duck though. But why need to duck when you can dance? I mean, come on. We've all played a game where we would duck to the music at least once. Super Mario World, I'm looking at you. This game has many memorable locations, bosses, and characters. Typically, the stages have themes, some more interesting than others. There's typical themes like water stage or lava stage, but the way the levels are designed doesn't make it feel like a typical lava or water stage. Like Mega Man. The difficulty of these levels have a steady rise for the most part, but never gets overwhelming. It's one of those games where sometimes it pisses you off when you die, but it just makes you more determined to beat it. And again, I think that has to do with the fact that most of the control belongs to the player, except for this stage. This fucking stage. This stage decided to go, well, guess the fuck what? Eat a dick, jackass! Now, in each stage, you find an item that you find that can help you throughout the game. None of these items are useless, and they are very satisfying to use, much like in The Adventure of Link. However, usage of these items require magic, even though most of them aren't magic. But at the end of each stage, you end up fighting a knight that has turned and joined the Enchantress. Like Mega Man. You know what? It seems like this game is exactly like The Adventure of Link in terms of gameplay, and Mega Man in terms of stages and bosses. But just because a game plays and feels like another game isn't a bad thing. Isn't a bad thing. Either way, each boss sticks to the theme of the stage and tends to be very creative. Except the Black Knight, who seems more like Proto Man and the Wandering Warriors. The bosses seem hard at first, and sometimes relentless, but you eventually learn their patterns, and it feels satisfying when you defeat them. Once you do, you unlock new areas, secrets, and also you win money. Oh yeah, that. Money is very important in this game. More important than in real life. You use money mostly in towns to buy items and upgrades, and if you die, you lose money instead of lives. I think that's actually a really good system. You have the opportunity to get this money back, but if you die before you do, then you lose that money forever. However, the game rewards you with money for exploring every nook and cranny, and this game has loads of secret areas. So long as you explore, you won't be very pressed for money. Once you finally beat all the stages, Much like Mega Man, you go to a 3-level endurance final stage. Then you have to fight all the knights all over again. Now, in order to avoid spoilers, I'll end it here, but let me just say, the ending of this game is great. The game also has a new game plus, which gives you all of your upgrades, but is slightly harder. Trust me when I say, you'll want to play this game over and over. And this game has tons of side goodies to keep you wanting more.
At this point, you can pretty much find this game on any platform.
All versions are great, you really can't miss.
And the only real difference is that the Sony and Xbox version have an extra boss, while the Wii and the 3DS are getting an amiibo.
However, I feel the game is more at home on the 3DS. It just feels like that type of game where you're in your room one evening, and there's a storm outside, and your power's out. You're sitting under your blankets with only the soft glow of the 3DS screen on your face as you beat the poop out of Mole Knight. It just feels better on the 3DS, and the 3D aspect is well done. All in all, this is a great game. A fun story, great world, memorable characters, moderate difficulty, and great controls. If you haven't played it yet, go check it out. Do it! Meanwhile, I'm gonna play it again for the upteenth time. Here's hoping for Shovel Knight 2.